enthusiasm with fury.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? And let's talk about, how can we say, the review bomber culture. And that's what's going on today. You know, this is all inspired by a certain game that's out today. And it's like this. I've seen it with movies. I've seen it with games. And it's a fine line. Like, where do we draw the line? Where do we go to really have a fair and balanced review of things today? Where we have things that are critical darlings, that are well deserved, and then we have things that are bought and paid for. And I have to say, on both sides, I don't know where they stand, because there are people, like I said, there's bias on both sides. We got fans review bombing things they don't like because they didn't get their way. And that, to me, is problematic. Just as problematic as reviewers taking payola and perks to say something is great when it's mediocre or it's not good at all. So it's like a fine line. Where do we go? Where do we really listen to it? Who do we listen to? And I say sometimes you got to listen to yourself. Well, most of the time, you got to listen to yourself. Unless the game is complete dog shit or the movie is ass. And I'm like, you know what? I tell you like this. We got a lot of people who like leaking things. We got a lot of people out there who put out Let's Play. We got just people who are actually still giving honest and fair reviews. You should be able to tell those type of people from those who just said, well, I just loved everything about it. This, that, and the fourth, and everything was great. This is the best performance I'm seeing. Whereas versus a person like, well, yeah, you know, I thought this person did this well, or I thought this part of the game was great. What I didn't like is that there was a lot of meandering in the middle of the game and the plot didn't really move forward. There was a lot of backtracking that I didn't appreciate, but I did like the story. It's just that it took a long time for the story to get to. In all in fairness, I would give this game a 7.5 out of 10, or I would give this movie a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It could have been something much better if the pacing was great. You know, you listen to people like that. And then you listen to people who got like more of a, how can I say, they can go into just detail about things without sounding like they are just angry. If they can sit there and they can drop knowledge and they can just be very transparent with what they think and walking you through, they painting a picture of where they coming from. You know, there's people out there like that. Then we got people who see things or hear about things that they don't want because of a fragile ego or some anti-SJW bullshit. You're going to hear their anger coming through. They're not even going to be fair and balanced. They ain't even going to admit that they like it. They're going to harp onto something because they want to sound like they are edgy, or they want to sound like they are revolutionary or smart. I mean, I've had friends who just purposely went against the grain because of issues that they had growing up. They were picked on, you know, things of that nature, or they felt like they was always the oddball, so now they got a platform to speak out and they want to be different because, hell, nobody accepted them before. We got a lot of people who think in ways like this, and now it just manifests itself into their preferences for pop culture and gaming and movies and all that other stuff. We got people like that. They identify way too much with somebody that's fictional than actually liking themselves. And that's where we fall in line with a lot of these incels and anti-SJWs, you know? They gotta stand out. They gotta be the one to bring up something. They gotta just play innocent. Always want to take it to the full out extent, like Lauryn Hill says. Man. So anyway, man, I don't fuck with Metacritic, and hell, it's hard to actually fuck with a lot of people online when it comes to reviews anymore. And it's not because they don't tell me what I want to hear. It's because they aren't being true with themselves. They're being disingenuous. They're being spiteful when it comes to a lot of reviews. And you can tell when you read fan reviews and they come from a place of malice and they make it sound like something doesn't have any value whatsoever, and they hated absolutely everything about it, that's too much of a red flag. If they like absolutely everything, red flag. If they hate absolutely everything, red flag. If they more balanced and fair, and if it balances more to the negative or to the positive, but they explain that it's not perfect and they can summarize it why they feel the way they do, I fuck with that. But when it's just people out there just saying, well, I didn't like Resident Evil 3 remake because it doesn't have Julia's Voss face on it, and Jill looks like a man, which is bullshit. Zasha Satova, who's the face model for Jill, is an absolutely stunning woman, in my opinion. So miss me with the bullshit with that. This is what I'm talking about when you look at reviews of things. And then I could sit there and be like, what the fuck are they talking about? I've been watching nothing but Let's Plays for The Last of Us 2. Speaking of bullshit, and I'm like, this is actually a really good fucking story. It's just that a lot of you assholes didn't get what you want, and now you're crying on some old Star Wars shit, as usual. And that wasn't even a perfect movie at all, whatsoever. But when I know crybabies, and there's a lot of them out there, good God Almighty, get over yourselves. Because I'm a fury. I'm here, and now I'm out. Peace.